Hello everybody and welcome to this video. In this video we want to read the story of Lena, a poor librarian who, as you see here, is very happy at the moment, but she is going to be miserable. It's not going to go well for her. So we're going to read this story and learn a few words of English to improve our English speaking skills. So let's get started. We're going to read it. Lena was a librarian and she loved her quiet space. So she works at a library, she's happy, and she loves the quiet. But one day, the entire computer system crashed. A group of noisy kids ran in for a school visit, and someone spilled juice on her favorite chair. Wow, you see, there is a lot of trouble, a lot happening at the same time. Three things at least. The entire computer system crashed. Crash is breakdown when something doesn't work. Crash, breakdown. Pay attention in the word crashed, because of the sh sound at the end, the ed is pronounced as a t. Crashed. It crashed because of the sh, similar to washed, right? Washed. So the entire computer system crashed, and a group of noisy kids ran in for a school visit, and someone spilled juice on her favorite chair. So someone spilled. You accidentally touched a glass and the juice was spilled on her favorite chair. Let's practice these two phrases. One, crash. As I said, crash is breakdown. For example, here. Crash, for a machine or system to stop working. For example, my computer crashed while I was writing my homework. You can also say, if the system crashes, we have to restart it. Another word was spill. Spill here. Spill is to accidentally let liquid fall out of a container. A container like a glass, accidentally let it fall. For example, I spilled coffee on my shirt. Be careful not to spill the juice. I like this expression, be careful not to. You can make a lot of examples with this. For example, I can say, be careful not to startle the dog. Be careful not to wake him up. Not to waken him. Or she spilled water all over the table. So these are the meanings, the examples for spill. The meaning is to accidentally let something fall, let a liquid fall. Spilling is always bad. Imagine, okay, if you want to remember the meaning of spill, imagine this scenario. Imagine you're in a job interview, you accidentally spill some coffee on your boss's suit, jacket. That would be horrible, right? Now, here are some conversation questions. Have you ever spilled something important? And are you careful with drinks, or do you spill often? I spill often. I once spilled tea on my laptop. It was a bad day. Now, let's continue. So we understand Lena was having fun, and then a lot of bad things happened. As she stood in chaos holding broken printer cable, the delivery guy walked in and said, "Here's the 40 boxes of new books you ordered." Lena just blinked. She was overwhelmed. So, everything is happening in a bad way. There is just more and more cropping up. And as she stood in chaos, disorder. Chaos is mess, disorder. Pay attention to the pronunciation, chaos. I know that because this word exists, originally in Latin and then in Italian, maybe some of our French and Italian speakers, learners may have a little bit difficulty with the original American pronunciation of this. It's chaos. All right, so in chaos, a mess. Or something that is disorganized. As she stood in chaos, holding is when something is in your hand. So as you see, she is holding some cable. Holding the broken printer cable, someone came, the delivery guy came and said, "Here's the 40 boxes of new books you ordered." That's just horrible. Lena just blinked. Blink is open and you close your eyes again and again. Blink. Let me put the examples here. Blink. Here. Blink is to quickly close and open your eyes. You blink when a light is too bright. She blinked in surprise, and he didn't blink once during the scary movie. Okay, so that's the word blink. And Lena just blinked. She was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is when there is too much stress for you to handle. You can't do anything. It's just too much stress and you are overwhelmed. Let's see the examples. Overwhelmed. Feeling stressed or unable to cope because there is too much stress, too much to do or think about. For example, I felt overwhelmed by all the homework. Have you ever felt overwhelmed? When I was in school, sometimes I would have too much and I would feel overwhelmed. She was overwhelmed when everyone shouted at once. At once is all together at one moment. And he was overwhelmed with happiness at the surprise party. So this is the flip side of the coin, the good part. So when there is so much, you don't know what to do. There's too much happiness. He was overwhelmed with happiness. A few questions for you. You can pause the video and answer these questions to improve your speaking skills. When was the last time you felt overwhelmed? And what helps you feel better when you are overwhelmed? Anyways, she was overwhelmed. Now the question is she resilient? What is she going to do with all of this trouble? What do you think you would do? Lena took a deep breath and tried to stay calm. She put down the broken printer cable and cleaned the juice from her chair. So as we see, she is a very resilient person. She knows how to bounce back from difficulty. Like a basketball. If you put a basketball down, it never stays down. Say, oh God, you put me down. What should I do now? No, the basketball comes back up. It bounces back, right? Because it's resilient. So we should all be like basketballs. Someone puts us down, we should go back up. Lena took a deep breath. She's in control. That's what the attitude we need to have in life. We need to be in control. Lena took a deep breath and tried to stay calm. She put down the broken printer cable and cleaned the juice from her chair. She was like, okay, this is not something I cannot control. I can control this. I can deal with this. The can-do attitude. I like this can-do attitude. The noisy kids laughed and ran around the library. Lena looked at the big boxes of new books and then at the busy room. She smiled and thought, maybe a little noise is not so bad. So it's all about perspective. It's what you think about. The circumstances are the same. You see, before we were talking about a noisy library with a lot of difficulties, and now it's the same. A noisy library with a lot of difficulties. What changed? Her attitude changed. Attitude is how you see things, your attitude. If you change your attitude, the world will change. So she has a new attitude. She's like, okay, the kids are moving around. There is so much happiness here. That's good. So she has a new attitude. She smiled and thought. Thought means past form of thinking. It's the past form of thinking. She thought, maybe a little noise is not so bad. Okay, that's the story. I hope you enjoyed it. There are a few extra examples here for the phrase feel overwhelmed and questions. I hope you can spend some time to answer these questions. What makes you feel overwhelmed in your daily life? How do you manage? Manage is cope. How do you cope? How do you deal with it? Cope, manage. How do you manage? How do you deal with it? And when you're feeling overwhelmed. And I think in French or Italian it's gérer, right? Manage in Italian. Manegio, but what about deal with something, cope with? Affrontare, huh? So how do you cope with it? How do you deal with it? How do you manage when you feel overwhelmed? And do you think people today feel more overwhelmed than in the past? Why or why not? This is an interesting question. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got inspired and you'll take control of your feelings and attitudes. and I hope you learned a lot of interesting words of English. So that's it. Till later.